Here's Charity again to demonstrate the baseball card match game. Notice how we have a 52 deck card all laid out. Then we have these cones kind of placed where first base, second base, third base would be. You can spread this out. You can put it in a line. There's lots of different variations where you can put the bases. You can even just use the bases as simple movements. You will need a whiteboard. It will signify the innings, strikes, outs, hits, and runs when you're playing this game. So the rules of the game are simple. You get three opportunities to flip over cards to find a match. So there's her first attempt. They do not match up, so then it counts as a strike. So I would write that in. Strike one. As she goes along, if she gets a pair, it counts as a hit, and then she has a player go to first base. Look at that, there's a hit. So what we do then is take those cards, put them off to the side, and erase the strikes because that player is now on base. When an individual gets 4 hits, it's going to score a run. We want to try and get as many runs as possible, but we also want to try and get as many matches as we can and finish the game in the least amount of innings. At the start, it's going to be difficult because the individuals have to strike out a lot and get out a lot to identify where the cards are. When there are 3 strikes, just like in baseball, it counts as an out. When there are 3 outs in one inning, any player that's on base has to come off. So there's out number 1. So you can play this game in teams. You can have 4 people to a team, 5 people to a team. It really doesn't matter. There's tons of variations for this game. It does last a long time, and if you do want to minimize the time, you can put out less cards. You can also have them flip over all the cards first, kind of get the chance to see where they all are, and then turn them all back over and see how their working memory is. What we're going to be also showing as we move along in this game is how many hits it takes to get runs. So you need at least 4 hits in order to get the runners in, and the more runs in, the more points that they get as well. So you can do a couple different evaluations on this game. But this game it does get pretty fun, and students of all ages do get a chance to really enjoy this card match game. So we're going to watch a little bit more demonstration here just before we break. We're going to have her demonstrate what happens, or a variation of when she gets a hit, and what that would look like if we asked her to go to first base, second base, third base, and eventually a home run. So the demonstration that we're going to use, we'll just pick an easy movement. We're going to pick jumping jacks. Okay, notice there that we've got 3 out, and so now we move on to the second inning. Okay, so we record, didn't get any runs that inning, which is typical because we have to get to know where all the cards are at first. So we're going to start on inning 2. Yeah, and when you have all this set up, it's really easy to just sit back as a coach and just watch each team. If you have a really big group, give each team a whiteboard and watch them work through it together. So right now we're asking her to purposely flip over all the cards and find a match. So there we go. There's a hit. So if we were to ask her to put in a movement, we would say, okay, you got a hit, great, go to first base, do 1 jumping jack, and then go back. Now if there's multiple players on a team, she would just stay at first base and have the second person go and hit. And if they got a hit, then they would be on second base. There we go, 2 jumping jacks there. So right now we got a runner on first and second. And then the player's up. There they go, turning cards over. We're going to pretend that's a match. Okay, so now all the runners move up. So there'd be a runner on first, second, third. So bases will be loaded. And when bases are loaded and there's a hit, there will be a run. So she's going to turn over a match here. Oh, there's a match. Perfect. So we would signify that a player has scored 4 jumping jacks when they reach home plate, and then the game would continue. So then I would put a run in that column.